I do believe we are live. So I'll say, indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again on another day, another moment for us to connect, another moment for us to be that which we are instead of pretending to be something which we are not. I had that as a dream last night as well. And the dream was trying to communicate this idea to me through two people trying to get themselves a house. And how the house looked had to be very specific, lest it fails to communicate who they are, if that makes any sense. And the only thing that I could notice in this dream is that no matter how hard you try, no matter how much money you gather, you're still going to be yourself, right? The things with which you decorate the self will change, but the self will still remain unchanged. I think maybe I'm supposed to have the camera angle shooting from this side. Shadow side is apparently the one that's supposed to be filmed. Friends can see me reading your comments as well. I see Zano is here. Jasmine. It's been a while, dear friend. How have you been? How's life been treating you? It's nice seeing you. Connor is here too. Duck Dad, of course. It's a pleasure to be with you all. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for taking the time. It's so nice to have you. Have you been pretending to be something you're not, Jasmine? Let us know. It's easier said than done sometimes to just not pretend, but I trust you, friends. Is that Isaac that I see here with us? Popping in here, can't be here long, but trying to show up for you all. Here you are. I can feel you in this space. Thank you, Isaac, for taking a moment with us. I hope that's always clear. I'll never expect you, friends, to give your lives. All I want is your love. I just want some lovin's. Just a little bit of love. A little bit. Loisanna's here too. I had a really weird dream too. You want to tell us about it, Zana? If you have like some of the information left, please do. I'm always curious. Look at that cozy croissant of a couch, right? So many textures. The way it catches the light. Psychedelic fractals. Always. Okay. Maybe start rolling a joint. Melt on screen. Melt on screen. Meltception. Dude, yesterday we were scrolling through YouTube on Johan's TV, trying to find something that would resonate with all of us. And then seeing my own face on his YouTube feed, I like almost did a backflip. I was like, was a shock to my system for a second. You friends have changed my life irreversibly. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is that Joy Vive? Joy Vive. Lovin's to you. Joy Vive sent us a love offering at 3 a.m. my time. So I got to wake up this morning to find that Joy Vive decided to manifest abundance into my life. It was still is a nice way to start the day. Doesn't necessarily define me, right? And yet the way I would like it to define me is gratitude. So here I am, gratefully thanking you. Thank you, Joy Vive. I appreciate you more than I can say. I know, right, finances can get in the way, especially when it comes to pretending to be something we're not. But you friends have convinced me that there is wealth in this space beyond what I can ever fathom. We'll be okay, infinitely so. You friends have given me calm, like a lot of calm. I'm looking forward to the responsibilities that this space will allow. I'm pretending to be something I'm not, a guy who can stare at plants and make them grow faster than biology. Really wish it was true. Doc Dad, it is. You don't have to stare at them. You might have to run copper pipes into them and then run electricity through those copper pipes. But you can. You can get those plants to grow faster than they usually would. Go check that shit out. I think you'd love it, Duck Dad. Go and, what are you talking about? Hey, Google, can you tell me about that copper piping system that helps plants grow faster? No, I don't remember. Hey, Google, can you tell me about the copper pipe system that people run electricity through to make their plants grow faster? Yeah. So it's a copper spray, which I don't think is the right thing that I'm talking about. But electroculture, that's what it's called. Electroculture, food production. Why electricity helps plants grow. Go check that shit out, Doug Dad. So there is a way. Like it's not going to be as mental, but you can use your mind to build something that can make your plants grow faster. So I'm still going to count it as a mental extension of yourself. Ducky Dado, Jasmine and Shannon Nanner, Wizik and Lozana and Zana Banana and likely Salmon Nat in the shadows. All you lovely friends, lovely you. Thank you, Joe, for saying love to our friends. JV, sending love and stew. J Weaver bringing the fever. I'm pretending to be a good guy. Keep pretending. Keep pretending, Connor. Before you know it, dear friend, you'll be convinced. That's how I convinced myself, at least. Because unironically, the version of me that I used to be was not a good guy. Not that I was evil, but just that I had priorities that weren't humanity. My priorities was my own selfish desires. Right? I wanted power. I wanted control. I wanted the finances to convince myself of my own power so that I can convince myself of control. And the more I keep showing up in this way with you friends, realizing that there is nothing more valuable to be had than the love we get to share, the more evidence I have of the contrary, right? Of the value proposition. Because this world is physical. I don't have papers left. This world is physical. And because of this physical perception, we become convinced that what we need to be is an extension of that physical, right? Wealthy, a homeowner, someone who has a nice car, etc., 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 etc. When what I've been trying to realize is that I'm trying to gather evidence that I am whole, that I am happy, that I am complete. And it's this question of significance, right? Where do you place significance? Where does significance come from if not from you? For instance, these rings on my fingers, right? This ring I paid $3 for when I was in China, right? So it is worth $3, but the significance, the value I have placed on it from my perspective, the sentimental value is exponential, right? That doesn't mean if you get yourself a ring, you're going to get the same amount of exponential value, significance from that ring. It means that you will have to spend time with it, applying that significance to it over time to actually allow yourself that. And it's a polarity thing, right? It's a believing that there's something outside of you that's going to fulfill you. And then after you get that thing, then you'll be allowed to do whatever it is you want to do. Make the change you want to be making. Be the good person that you think you want to be. I'll just write good. Good is the intention. Good. I don't have any rolling papers in this thing left, but I'm gonna see if I can find some more. So this is the dream from Zana, I believe. So I was eating like a chocolate spread out of a chip bag. It was like the Little Mermaid printed on the front. So I wanted to keep it. I went to the sink, turned it inside out and rinsed it out. It started falling apart and I cried very, very hard. That is an interesting dream. The thing that I'm going to attach to it as a lesson is attachment, of course. That we get attached to things that we're like, yeah, I want to keep this thing. Like that's what the drum was for me, right? Like there was a point at the night when the drum started getting really heavy that I was feeling attached to it, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I want to keep the drum. I want the drum to be mine. And not knowing whether or not it is made it heavier than the actual weight of it did, right? So I'm feeling maybe the same thing with the bag falling apart, especially since you wanted to keep it. Sometimes our dream shows us the extremes of losing things so that we can get better at dealing on the other side of it. I'm gonna see if I can get myself a little rolling paper. Let me send some lovin's to you friends first. What is this insanity? I need to read about this. Go, dude, go check it out. I'm happy to expose you to these ideas. I found out about it this weekend as well, at this festival space where another dude was growing his vegetables with electro agriculture or whatever it's called. Meld, what do you do IRL, dude? Friends think about us. All of them love you, Lozana. Like I got to you friends are in my mind, right? Like I talk about you a lot. So people know about you. And that's why I try to stress the fact that I think of you friends as friends, right? Like I'm invested in your lives. I want to see you succeed. Friends are someone you want to walk side by side with, not just fans. Electric vibes in the plans. Ooh, good cue. I pretend to have my shiznit together. Me too, Joy V. This is me pretending. My shiznit is all in a bag. Is that Dan? Seeing you, dude. Sending you lovins. It's nice having you. Pretend to be a good guy, and sure enough, it will happen. Exactly. And gather evidence, right? I feel like that's important. If you want to pretend to be a good guy, gather evidence for you being a good guy, right? Day by day, moment by moment, conversation by conversation. Gather a little bit of evidence that you can put in the bar, the graph of, yeah, I did this thing that makes me a good guy. I did this thing, washed the dishes, smiled at my friend, complimented, his enthusiasm. And then slowly but surely, you'll notice that it's going to become second nature for you to act in ways that prove, that give evidence for the good person that you want to be. Shan saying, Mel, I've been wondering if I actually haven't, Shan. I haven't taken my remedy since I've left home. I wanted to take it with me, but I left it specifically because I thought I'm gonna go through a lot over this space, and then after I go through all of it, I want to use and I have maybe 10% of the bottle left. I want to use that last 10% of the remedy to kind of almost establish the synchronicities, the frequencies that I want to be embodying right now. Thank you for asking, by the way, because I told John and Stefan about your remedies and how they've been helping me and how I left them at home, how I've been taking them every day, and coming to the festival I stopped, and how I was feeling some way about that as well. So yeah. I try to be something I'm not quite often. I love to play, dance, explore, more childlike things. I try to act more grown up. Jasmine. The only advice I can give in a context like that is do both. Right? Establish patterns, times in your day. Is that Stefan? I was just talking about you, dude. I'm sending you lovin's, dude. Establish patterns. It's not bad to do nothing. It's not bad to do everything. But finding balance is how you can do nothing and everything forever, right? So find moments in your own day where you can play like a child, where you can explore, go for a walk, go and find something new. Go and bend down and look at a flower. And then also have hours in your day where you do meaningful work or you push the envelope forward, et cetera, right? That way we can do both. We can allow ourselves the balance. Let me see. I'm going to be back in a second. Please do love each other excessively. Fortunately, none of us have to pretend here that we like one another. I'm back in a moment. Johan! Het nie rolpapiertjies hier so nie, het jy?
Rolpapier.
Yes. Asai. Dankie maar. Ek rol nou 'n joint.
Oh, dude, actually, I can go.
Sick. Back again. Zano saying, I think the beginning of the dream, me and my partner each got one thing from the Disney store. Mine was the bag of chocolates. I think because my partner's toy survived and mine fell apart, I had a tantrum. Let's see if there's more. Warrior. Warrior on both feet forward, one back foot for 2. I feel that. I do feel that, Zana. Like losing something and then seeing someone else get to keep something. Joined? No vape? Yeah. Like I do want to get myself a proper, like I want to get myself a Mighty eventually, Yash, but spending $350 on something. Like I like earn about $350 a month right now. So if I earn a little bit more, I can justify actually getting myself something like that. But right now, my money needs to be a little bit more sparingly invested. But I do agree that carcinogens aren't great for me. And my voice got deeper over this weekend. It's kind of tripping me out. I feel like I don't sound like myself. Have you friends noticed? Or you're like, who's this dude? Who have I been replaced by? Love Instant? He might actually join us. He might join us and sit down and have a conversation for a bit. I felt the pretending during Warrior Pose today, and I felt good enough to fake it to fool others. Natalie, evidence, right? Not like this is me trying to brain melt myself, where if I do things that I don't want to be doing, then I think of that as pretending. If I do things that I want to be doing, but don't want to do it, then I think of it as gathering evidence. Or like, it sounds like you just said the same thing. I didn't, technically. I technically didn't say the same thing, but sounds very similar. Gathering evidence for the good that we can do to ourselves, for ourselves. Let me put some runes. I'll put that one. I'll put that one. I'll put this one. This one. There we go. Those are our runes. And our intention is good. Yes. Pretend to be the good. I like to pretend that I'm the main character and not just an NPC. Well, Connor, in your life, you are the main character, dear friend. In a weird way, the whole universe revolves around you, right? But then taking that as a truth and also realizing that that is also the truth for every single other thing, including the bugs, including the trees, including the blades of grass, everything from their perspective, from the ultimate perspective, from the unity of consciousness, is the center of the universe. And all we have to do is encourage / celebrate that consciousness, right? Because I believe we are ultimately pretending not to be that. Like I am pretending to be Melt right now, right? Instead of primordial consciousness, the everything. And then I get to be me instead of everything, but I am pretending, all right? I'm pretending right now. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be me. You know, you wouldn't be you. You are the main character, but so is everything and everyone else. And it doesn't have to be a zero-sum game like many people think it is. Like people worry about losing as the main character, but this life isn't about winning and losing. Unfortunately, we've been brain damaged a little bit to believe that money is the be-all, end-all. And in that way, we have become convinced of this zero-sum game of If I don't get money, if I don't get the contract, then someone else will, and someone else will get the capital that I would like to have, causing us to try and be something we're not, so that we can get something we don't need, ultimately, right? That if you die one day, you don't get to keep the money you gathered in this life. You get to return to that which you've always been, conscious. Just pure conscious. Speaking of warrior pose, which directions are your toes supposed to point? Both forward. Technically, the ultimate extension of that pose is both forward. But also, that does make it a little bit more difficult because the stability thing, right? So it's not wrong if you have your back foot flared a little bit, but you can have different hip mobility effects depending on how your foots are placed. Thank you for asking. Doctor, I think that's how you do it. And I think it's like the Wizard of Oz. You had it in you all along, but to go through hell and get back is to figure it out. Yeah. Like, in a weird way, I believe we are going through hell right now. Like, I believe I'm an extremely privileged kid in many ways. And I got to be exposed to a worldview that isn't necessarily standard, right? And then from that worldview, I had to try and figure out who I am without these things, right? I could pretend to be one thing, to live one way, right? From this perspective of being accepted into that version of society. But I realized that there is so much more to be had in just being. In just being. And I know that that is not necessarily a conclusion that a lot of people can come to, especially when it comes to this expectation to survive. And then I'll say again that this state of life that we're in right now, where many of us are expected to survive, on a day-to-day level, it's a type of hell that we're living in right now. And this state of existence is going to inevitably inform the world we continue building into the future. Clearly, things are not perfect, right? Clearly, things are hurting. Clearly, people are not where they're supposed to be mentally. And something needs to change. What that change is going to look like is going to be insane, right? Insane from the perspective of inconceivable to our current minds, probably. But the way that I like to think of it is value as an individual. That every single one of us can provide value to this world, right? That you can learn skills, that you can have a conversation with someone that can change their lives, that you can make music, cook a meal, spend time with someone. Just to spend time with someone, you can provide value that way. And for us to figure out how we can establish a system where every single person is the value proposition, right? Not the things, right? We can start pretending, because we're gonna have to pretend, like we've been pretending of all of things. We can start pretending that people are the thing that is most valuable, because everything that we have right now falls apart without people. Our economy doesn't exist without people, right? Our economy is a direct function of your existence. So maybe we should just bite the bullet and actually commit to it in that way. Every single person is a node. Stop pretending that you're apart from the whole, right? Maybe that's a point to be made or something. Had to go and figure it out. My desk is always ramping up, and the headache I've been nursing is asking me to pay attention to one thing at a time. We love you, Isaac. I hope your headache feels a little bit better soon. Drink water, stay hydrated, and we'll see you again soon. I wish I could do more. I'm seeing a T. It's a T that was also a scale, and there were two little balls. on the edges of it, being measured, being weighed. There you go, dude. Sending you good vibes. Do. Go kill that shiznit. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up for love. We benefit from the love that we share too. It doesn't matter where in line you are in the present moment. Just keep filling the roles. Love is true. Dan is here too. Again, sending love to you. I feel honored that you talk about us as much as I talk about you. Natalie, you friends are a part of my life. All right. Like, I'm a sentimental person. I'm a very sentimental person because I believe that's how we add significance to this world. That nothing is going to give us the significance that we're looking for. And yet we keep seeking, we keep buying, we keep going different places, hoping for some significance. And then when we take a moment to sit down, to be quiet, we learn that that significance has always been right with us. And you friends have taught me that in so many ways. You friends have brought so much significance into my life. Seeing you friends change, grow along with me. Dum 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 dum. Hey, Stefan again. A good guy would act like a good guy. Exactly. Evidence. Gathering evidence for your own good guidedness. Feel honored. The quote I want to share today: every sound that is uttered is infinite virtue. Of course, you had to say that, Dan. I want to get the 7 virtues tattooed on my back. Hey, Google, what are the 7 virtues? The 7 virtues. The 7 virtues are prudence, justice, temperance, fortitude, faith, hope, and charity. I want to get those tattooed on my back. Every single word I say is a virtue. There's a mosquito that just got himself squishied. You shouldn't do stuff like that, dude. That's rude, oh. Stealing blood from me and stuff. Coming in like a prophet. Every sound that is uttered is an infinite virtue. I like that. I know it's a good guy because you people like me. If people like you, it's a good sign. Good. I feel that. A friend is someone you want to walk beside. I like that a lot. That's the most beautiful definition of a friend to me, right? If you're gonna walk up a mountain, the type of person you would want to walk side by side with is a friend, right? Like, you don't want to walk side by side with someone that you don't see as a friend. You want to walk up ahead of them, want to get to the mountaintop first, or you're going to lag behind to avoid having to talk to them. Nah. Homies, walking side by side. I walked with my best friend yesterday. It was lovely. The analogy fits even more perfect. Mindful and present. The remedy and oils keep me present and mindful. They do. I also went for a walk with a friend yesterday. Synchronicity. Yes. The fact that we decide to share these things and then you friends are like, yep. Alignment. Synchronizing. I dug up quartz today. Send me photos, Stefan. That sounds sick, dude. Are they big pieces? Are they clear? Or are they kind of like little bit schmoggy? The frequencies are still in you, melt. It's all good. I was just curious. Thank you for asking. I was like thinking about it as well. I put them in my shower. Dug up quartz. I saw that Connor. People procrastinate because it's a habit and sometimes harder to overcome the change of breaking it. They've gathered so much evidence, Natalie. So much evidence has been gathered of, I am someone who procrastinates. And then not procrastinating is almost like a sacrilege to yourself of like, wait a second. I'm someone who's been doing this thing over and over again pretty much my whole life. Who am I to believe myself capable of not being this person who procrastinates? Right? And it's like a moment. It takes one moment of you giving yourself the opposite evidence for you to break that chain. Joint, no vape. Love is true. I saw you on another stream. Shelly, it's nice having you here, friend. Again, Yash, love to you. I thought the voice deepening was just temporary from you straining your voice over loud music all weekend. I thought so as well, Joy Vive. I thought so as well. Maybe it will go back to being the way it used to be. I don't mind my voice sounding like this, but I feel like that a little bit of the boyishness went away. Maybe. It's probably going to change again, right? As we keep aging, life will continue changing. So do the trees fall like us? Do they prank each other and get in beefs? Maybe. Maybe, Connor. Who are we to say, dude? Maybe their conversations just happen over much larger time frames. Hey, Google, can you give me that short little story by Terry Pratchett about trees? This is probably like a big ask, but Small Gods, that's what the book was called. I want to read you, friends, this piece. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, this is a snippet from the book, but not the piece that I want to read you, friends. Conversation that follows eventually. Yeah, if you want to read what it would be like, at least in my mind, I think Terry Pratchett really did a good job of extracting that wisdom of what trees would be like if they had conversation with one another. Small Gods by Terry Pratchett is a good book to read. They do get in beefs. A certain type of tree starts hoarding the sunlight. Other trees will suffocate the hoarding tree out. I wouldn't necessarily say they're like us that way yet. I mean, there is awareness there, right? Trees are cooler than I thought. Everything is cooler than we think, probably. We are being raised for a world that will not exist, yet we can always hold our values and virtue. I like that quote as well, Connor. That's been one that I've been repeating to myself a lot. Is that the reason my parents have such a hard time understanding where I'm coming from is because they grew up in a world that no longer exists, right? They spent their whole lives preparing for a world that no longer exists. And that must be a lot from a personal perspective. So I understand why they would not want to accept my worldview and the things that I understand about it too, because it is adjacent to the thing they're pretending to be right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is quite a trip. I had to double check. Same and different species. They compete to coexist. They cooperate and communicate in super complex ways. And the mycorrhizal networks, they share nutrients with their friend trees. They also have like mother trees, where if baby trees are growing underneath the big tree, it will feed through its root system sugars into the baby tree so that it can actually like start growing some mass, grow enough leaves so that it can actually start absorbing more energy. And if you chop down the mother tree before those little baby trees had the opportunity to actually do some growing, all of those baby trees will just die without the mother tree supporting them. I haven't lit the joint yet. I've been waiting for you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, man.
This couch is actually such a good streaming place.
Right? Like it's
Yo,
good light.
Why didn't we do this last time?
Like I feel I've gotten almost like stuck in this ego of Meltmore streams outside. And I was like, oh wait, guess Meltmore streams outside. And this whole weekend showed me that I can do whatever I want to.
Yeah.
Like I can just whatever goes. And it feels freeing, dude.
It is freeing.
I'm like behind on comments.
Whoa, that's so much better. Whoa.
The comments on the tablet, not having to reach out.
Yo, dude.
It's a life changer, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to tell you earlier, but I like genuinely think that these days an iPad is almost more valuable than a laptop. The only reason that I ended up getting my PC was because if you need to present or something like that, it's impossible. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to run a Thunderbolt to like an HDMI to like those old AV.
The nice thing about these Samsungs, if you have a Samsung TV, like the LG one as well, like I can just cast everything to the TV. So you don't even need the cables anymore these days.
Fuck.
Like it's such a nice tool, dude. I called it the creation station for that reason because it's this extension of what we've already been doing. Let me see. I totally forgot. I'm pretending that I'm not really a business owner and a creator, but I finally got over that yesterday and posted my official welcome to Duck Dad Farms on Instagram. Duck Dad is like starting his own business, selling like little chili plants and stuff. You got a little cold following you. Sorry about that.
Cool. Chili.
Yeah, chilies.
Chili,
So
wow.
he's like growing the little plants, and then he sells the plants to people.
Oh.
You know, so like I'm thinking I might be mistaken. Please do let us know, Doc Dad. But I'm thinking that these little plants already have like chilies on them, and then he sells that to people, so they can like harvest the chilies, use it in their food, and then maybe like keep the plant as like a cyclical thing as well.
That's really, really, really fucking cool.
Providing food, dude. Providing some capsaicin in people's meals.
Yeah.
Feeding their souls.
Feeding their souls with liquid fire.
With some liquid fire, I like that, dude. We're like jokingly talking about making a mouth melt sauce, you know, with his chilies at some point as well. Add even more fractals.
No, we just need to do a Hot Ones episode.
Yes, dude. I so want to do a Hot Ones episode where I'm like, I don't want to do Hot Ones.
I like that. Like anime has to have the swimsuit episode. We have to have the hot sauce episode.
Like,
if we do that though, we have to get some Korean fire noodles with it as well, and just. Like,
have you had some Korean fire noodles?
I've had the 4
that
times.
shit is so spicy,
there used
dude.
to be a time where my old friend group used to, if you wanted to join, we had a stupid initiation where you had to eat at least like
eat
3 or 4 bites.
Oh, bites, okay.
3 or 4 bites. Nobody could finish a bowl ever.
I would finish bowls, but you would literally be like,
I can't breathe. This hurts. Like
your face is hot. It was brutal. The imposter syndrome is real. It is real, and yet we're gathering evidence that we can transcend it as well. I see Joel joined us in the meanwhile.
Also, hi everyone.
Sending you love.
Hi.
They sent like love-ins to you when I came for the papers as well. Friends, can I invite you to spend some time with me in my stream, a basic kitchen time crafting on Twitch? No pressure. Send a link in the Discord. That's going to be the best way for our friends to actually find it. We have like a notification tab right up top, and we also have a streams come true. Like dreams come true. Streams come true. You can post it there as well. Then if there's any friends online, they can come and join you, Shell. I talk about you all the time. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm still wondering why those guys all started laughing at the sound of my name. That's probably childhood paranoia.
Huh?
I told some of our friends, I think John and Stefan, about Duck Dad. I don't know. I don't think about it either. Duck
I
Dad.
just think they find it funny. Why are you called Duck Dad?
We call him Pato Padre. Pato is like duck in Spanish. Pato Padre, and Padre is dad. And we also call him the Pepper Pappy. Because he sells chili.
That's my favorite.
Right?
I'm sorry, the Pepper Pappy. The alliteration, dude. I really like
There you go, Duck Dad. So even if you're tripping out, like we're adding some more sprinkles to it. Why not use YouTube, Shell? YouTube is kind of nice. Melt is legit psychic.
I don't think so yet.
I might think so, dude. Like when I'm tripping, I am. I'm pretty sure. Like maybe only when I'm tripping. I don't think I'm psychic all the time, but
I am convinced that I dream about the future. You know how many times I've dreamt about things and then I'm sitting in a place being like with your fucking pants, dude. I swear I've seen you on them, but you bought them this weekend.
Yeah, you might have just seen them in a dream.
I don't know where, I don't know why.
Yeah, like this weekend, dude. For example, there was this one situation where a friend who was working in the crew was like being left alone to do most of the work himself, and he was there at the tented area, tripping out. I could see it in his physical being. So I think of that as psychic, even though I'm taking all of my information, I'm taking all of the context, and then I am saying the exact words that is going to be stimulated in that person's mind in that moment. It's more awareness than it is psychicness.
I agree. It was probably, I took it as like future psychic. like the see-through time, which is
Mm.
way harder to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but I agree.
I feel
can
like
do
in
that too.
yeah, in
That's-
part I can do that, but not like
Not like
not to the
the-
point where I'm like, this is something that I
Yeah,
do.
I understand. but
And like this dude, he's standing there. I can see like in his body language, he's tense. He wants something to be done, and then I just echo to him in a very visceral way that he has this whole party in his hands.
he can do
Right?
whatever he wants.
No. But very much like he's the one managing the gear, making sure that things aren't peaking, but he's doing it alone. Right?
so he
So he
has
was
full
he was like
control.
looking for someone to help him because he was feeling like, oh, I'm doing this alone and it's tripping me out.
It's all.
And then I painted him the picture of like, sure, you're alone, but also you're the one with all the power in your hands. If you wanted to, you could just like turn the party off.
Dude,
That's how
literally,
much
it's
power
like
you have.
click.
And I can see this dude's whole mind
Yeah, dude, it's
swap
opposite.
around, right? And in that moment, I'm like, that feels like psychic power, dude. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, I could say anything to this friend, and paying attention, paying close attention,
It's-
I get to say the exact thing that's going to
Yeah,
actually help him.
I feel like it's a like weird form of psychic because I agree. It is like I don't know, it's probably these days it's the old like version of psychic. These days we probably just call it your intuition and like awareness.
So the reason Stefan said I'm psychic today is because I was talking about him literally seconds before he came into stream. And he might have been here while I was talking about him as well or something.
Dude, that's been one of like the talk about the devil and he shall appear.
Yeah.
What happens so often, dude? You're like, so this is where like so many weird theories can come in about like recognizing stuff before they actually happen because you're seeing that you're like tapping into something that doesn't really exist, but it's allowing you to see things before they happen
Back in a
like
second.
weird way.
I wanna get you a mic or
Oh, yeah.
get
That's a
you
good idea.
mic'd up so there's clarity.
What would it got? Now I can destroy the friend's ears.
Yeah. Like it's like having one of our friends' ears in your
Thank you, hello. I
There
am
we go.
now loud.
Wow. We'll have all the clarity we need. Let me see if I can get this thing a little bit more lifted. Boom.
I can kind of read. You read. It's okay.
Mhm. Mhm. How far did I scroll down? Oh goodness. Oh, more. Okay, here we go. Childhood paranoia. Thank you. Psychic. Okay, we've been living deeply into my fear and shutting myself out from the infinite possibilities in front of me. I had a trip this weekend and I finally understood that I am one and I am the infinite. Welcome, dear friend.
Yeah.
What took you so long?
It's such an interesting thing because it feels so spiritual the first time, and then it's also so backed up in science. And then you're like, wait, what the fuck, dude? Wait, what the fuck just happened?
Understanding that has come to us as human beings over and over and over and over.
This
again
time we can
throughout
just
the
prove
time.
it.
And now we have like tangible proof for it.
It's the difference. We've always thought certain things. And that video by Exerbia where it was like smart right and just a smart wrong. Where
Yeah.
you're like wrong, but you based it in pretty decent things. And then the smart wrong turns out to produce very wrong, very right. And then those like really work together. So what was I bringing up? Oh, I was bringing up how we had to go through all these like tribulations and all these ideas, and then finally we were like, wait, we can test. Holy shit! Wait, what
scientific
happens?
method
What
changed
happens if I drop
everything.
this? Okay, well it falls. What if you drop it? It falls as well. Okay, what if we drop it from higher up? It still falls at the same speed.
There
So
seems to be
there's
some sort of constant
there's
here.
some constant here, and that ability is what like all of us. And do you know how it happened?
The scientific method?
Yeah, Descartes came up with it in a dream where he dreamt that an angel appeared in front of him and told him that the universe is made of maths and numbers, and the way forward is through maths and numbers. Good luck. And then he woke
Dude.
up.
Changes the world irreversibly.
It changes the world irreversibly, given to him by an angel.
I believe shit like that.
Dude.
Right, I do because I've had experiences like that myself, man. Life-changing experiences that are inexplicable by just coincidence. I mean, is there such a thing as coincidence? Is it a coincidence that all of us happen to have had the experiences we've had to understand, at least in some part, what is being communicated in this moment? Dreams are magic. So talking about Stefan, we had this conversation about what our magic powers are. And he asked me what I think my magic power is. And I answered him my voice.
Your voice on it.
And my ability to speak, I feel is my power.
A good one.
And he believes his power is dreaming.
Interesting.
What do you think your power is?
Reasoning.
Reasoning. I like that.
Reasoning.
Someone told me I'm reasonable this weekend, and I felt almost shocked by that statement.
That shocks me. You reasonable?
I was like, excuse me, what?
What?
I'm reasonable?
Nah, see, I think what I mean by reasonable or like reason is what I mean that I think I have the ability to figure most things out given time. If you give me something, it might take me a while, but I can pretty much work anything out given enough tools and time. That's been one of my it's been the big reason I can get through university. And like through most of my life, and why I could I don't know.
That's a good skill to have.
It is, dude. It's fucking
because
useful.
you're not limiting yourself on whether or not you can do something. You're limiting yourself on how long you have to do it.
And I fully believe everyone does it that way.
I know people don't though. People probably do it that way unconsciously.
Yeah, no. What I mean is, I think everyone can do it. Everyone can do anything as long as they put the time into it. Some people will need to put exponentially more time into it than others, but it's still possible. Your brain alone is like completely malleable to how you think. You think one way, your brain changes to fit it. You think that way, your brain changes to fit it. You exercise, your body changes to fit it. If you have some people okay, besides disabilities, because disabilities are disabilities. It's an unlucky thing that happened. You have something else inhibiting you.
And yet, I don't know what his name is, I'm forgetting. But this dude who has so many disabilities, and he has an amazing YouTube channel. You probably know who I'm talking about.
Is it the dude that has no arms, no legs,
he plays,
the 1 foot?
Yeah, he still plays games.
Yeah,
I'm still pretty sure he smokes bongs.
I remember he was like one of the people our teachers would get do inspirational quotes and stuff from.
Oh no, not that dude. I remember.
Oh, is this another guy?
This is another dude on the internet. He's so into the meme world as well. And the amount of joy that this person stimulates in my mind to see him so present, to see him so active, right? Regardless of disabilities, it's proving to me the point you just made of your mind is malleable to the state of existence that you believe you're in.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is he will never be the fastest runner in the world.
He doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be though. But that's the disability. But the rest of it, your mind can do anything. As long as you don't have Alzheimer's, dementia, some type of schizophrenia, because that schizophrenia of that painter who would paint a cat of him every year over his lifetime with schizophrenia and how weird and trippy it gets.
Went into the DMT realm.
Yo, dude, man's went mad. That's not comfortable.
I can't imagine it is, but the way I think of it is all experience is worthy, right? Otherwise, there wouldn't be an observer to have the experience.
I agree.
And I feel even though it's not necessarily something I would want to wish onto anybody or onto myself, I've been tripping out about the smoke being caught by the light this whole time, Johan. It's been so beautiful. I feel, again, your point of the way we see things. Today's whole stream topic is about pretending to be something, right?
Aren't we all pretending?
My point was that I'm in this moment pretending to be Meld when I know I am primordial consciousness, right? And I can't be primordial consciousness and just all awareness sitting in the middle of everything and be this version of me at the same time.
You could never be that. You are a fraction of an infinite, but it is it's trying to be this, I don't know, that cup will be anything but a cup.
So
Because-
the way I think of it, is in that cup analogy where you are basically the thing that is capturing.
Yes.
Right? And that thing into which is capturing is infinite void. And from that
Yes.
infinite void, we arise into the light. As the light, right? It's like a trip.
Agreed. But your brain is still a fraction of a fraction, or a fraction of the whole.
Infinite, yeah.
And thus you are integrally part of the infinite yourself, but not the infinity.
Yeah. Well, so the way I think of it is masculine, feminine, right? Observer and observed. Where every single one of us, even the trees, even the flies, also has that exact same perspective. And all of that perspective is infinite because the infinity leads, I'm going to be okay for now.
done.
It's going to lead into the perspective. As in, the fly doesn't exist without the whole universe and multi-galactical,
Agreed.
doesn't exist either.
Agreed.
And it's the same for us and it's the same for the tree. And in that way, I agree with your point of we are but fractions of that larger infinity.
Yeah.
But I also believe that there are multiple sets of infinity.
Yeah, there is.
So we are still infinite in nature, but we're not more infinite in nature than all of the other infinities.
Yeah,
I feel like it's very much everything is a part of the same infinity.
One of the biggest things that we discovered in maths is set theory.
Mm.
And set theory says that a fraction of infinity is still infinite.
Infinity, yeah.
You can't, otherwise, how, like, it's infinite. Like,
It's,
you
it's,
can't,
dude,
you
that's
can't
one of
not
my
be-
favorite quotes, dude. Is
Yeah.
that a fraction of infinity is still infinite.
It doesn't mean that, again, like the very interesting analogy in that there is a bigger infinity between 0 and 1 than there is natural numbers. Because each natural number contributes and like infinitely. So there's different infinities within infinity, within infinity. And like each subset, each is a part of the whole.
There has to be a larger set of
dude.
infinity that encapsulates this set of infinity, and then there has to be a larger set of infinity to encapsulate
Yeah. Fucking trippy.
the uncaused cause, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
Also, please just in the stream say if this bothers you, because
No,
like, I
dude,
moved-
moving your limbs apparently psychologically is actually good for viewers.
Bro, no, it's more about the mic.
Oh no.
Because
oh,
I'm,
okay.
I'm making sure that it's.
Then it
not
should be
going-
fine as long as that mic isn't like scratching against
No,
any
it's
material.
not.
Then it should not be making
Yeah,
any noise.
no, I can't not talk with my hands, dude. If I sit on my hands, I'll fucking die. I'm like,
How do I work
feel,
right now?
dude.
Let me see. I missed a few comments, but
Yeah.
I'm back into it. What you scared of Dan? I don't think there's any fear that I'm reading there. At least it was so profound that I wept. He says though the pain I've been carrying and pouring out of my soul. It was incredible. Being with y'all has me so emotional right now.
No.
We're here with you, Dan. This is what we've been working for, dear friend. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for seeing yourself, right? One with the infinity. Your experience is infinite. I think just like for a moment, where were you before you were born? Right? Where were you? Your awareness was, I believe, your awareness was because your cells started manufacturing your body very deliberately, very deliberately, following very precise instructions. And if they didn't follow
Very
those instructions
precise
very precisely,
instructions.
you would not be who you are right now. So clearly there was consciousness for who you were going to be before you were conscious in the way you think you are right now.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a very interesting way because your DNA does technically run infinitely back, or not. Well, not technically infinitely backwards, but like backwards a very, very, very long time.
Like all of the information that DNA had to figure out to be what it is still there.
yeah,
It's
it's all there.
it's
It's
all
why you have
there.
the default like defects and why Alzheimer's and stuff happens because we're still working it out. Like coding, they wrote code,
Oh,
and now it works very well, but there's still bugs.
And then on that note of the whole your consciousness continuing, if you procreate, then your DNA is going to continue in lineage. But I also believe you are not just your DNA, you are your awareness. You can, as awareness, influence DNA, and your DNA can influence the things you were aware of. For instance, if you have a bad knee, now you're gonna have a life where you're more aware of a bad knee. And you can make that like the end of your life. You can never go on walks again. Or you can be like, even though I have this discomfort, I'm still going to strengthen myself, right? And then as you do that, you're going to have different gene expressions that is going to contribute to the future. And then when that vessel passes, I believe, again, in the same way as consciousness was before you were conscious in the way you think you are right now, it continues. And this is just because of the experiences we've had with, for instance, DMT, for example, where you get exposed to an understanding of being that is beyond just embodiment.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's very interesting that you don't remember being part of the whole. It's like because like you said, when you die, all of this just goes back into the universe. And whether like that equates to what DMT is like, or if the DMT is just like a very small representation, or what?
An opening of perception is the way that I think of it.
It itself, for you, is definitely that. It's that like, there is more. Look.
Yes.
Open. Look.
And for me, the weirdest thing is the familiarity in that space, where you get exposed to ideas, concepts, imagery that is so alien, so foreign, and yet you can be like, I remember that this is not something that is strange, right? I don't have to pretend. I don't have to pretend of this experience right now.
Oh, it's so visceral.
Yeah, like you can't pretend to trip on DMT, right? If like and you don't have to smoke it. That's the joke about DMT as well. You can do breathwork exercises. Your body produces the most powerful psychedelic on planet Earth, and it produces it in amounts equal to dopamine and serotonin.
Yeah.
Isn't that absurd?
It is absurd.
It's so absurd. And then if you do breathwork exercises, you'll feel this buzzing in your lungs, right? Like a very visceral perception and awareness of your beingness. And it brings you back to this moment. And the like that's the craziest thing about the DMT experience to me as well, is that the actual trip is a lot and gives you perspective, but isn't necessarily enjoyable. What's most enjoyable is coming back to being yourself.
And going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, dude.
And then, like it's this joke of the stream topic, that we're pretending to be this right now because we want to. And then we get to come back to this, and it's a sense of comfort we find in getting to pretend to be this version of ourselves.
This is like, well, at least this version of humanity that we've found ourselves in is fucking awesome. Like
the comfort and the convenience is unparalleled almost to previous civilizations. But also in that disconnected from nature.
The disconnected from nature sucks a little bit, but we have like the possibility with us being the first alien civilization or civilization in the universe, we have this opportunity as this generation to make it better and to really make it better because we have the knowledge and the tools.
We can actually save the world.
Dude, like if you look at the Save the Trees where they planted 22 million because people were giving stuff, and like
did you see that new kind of like wooden tech that they kind of like got the information from seed pods, where they take pieces of wood and then they cut them and curl them, where if they get moistened, they twirl. And as they get, rained on and then dried out, they literally bore the seeds into the ground.
What?
And then dropping those little stick with seeds on them, from drones. And then those seeds literally drill themselves into the ground, germinating properly. Like there's so many different nodes, different people working right now to make this world a better place. You friends are working to make this world a better place right now.
It's the thing that makes me happy. Like not everyone is, but the people that are trying are trying. Yeah.
Every day, trying every day, because it is going to be an everyday thing.
It is, obviously. It's how, like, and the thing is, it's every day because only every day matters.
And it's also not like an everyday as in you have to have some sort of like worldly pretending to be tangible wealth. If you can spend every day just loving yourself a little bit more, needing less of the world and loving yourself more, the world will radically change overnight.
The world will radically change.
And like, how can we do that if not for conversations like this? right? This conversation that we're having right now, having led one another to this moment.
Yeah, the discussion of the universe.
We can't pretend. We can't pretend to have these conversations.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. The pretending has been very interesting to me because it seems like really big words to say. I don't really think I've ever had the imposter syndrome, and I don't really know why. I don't know why I feel that. That's such an interesting thing.
I feel like, at least the way I've seen you, Johan, is that you don't have a sense of unworthiness when it comes to what is possible in the world.
Not really.
Yeah.
That's probably a good way of putting it. And I wonder what I think about it from the sense of why did it happen to me? What happened like to start me?
Exposure.
I think it has to be.
It has to be exposure.
And like it's something that I think it's also something you have to try and work really hard on. Like, yes, I might not feel like I know what's going on today, but I know I've worked through bigger problems or been through problems similar. I can probably work it out. And I think it's something that's really important to remember whenever you start something new or when you're in something and you just feel stupid. You're not. You're just not informed yet. Nobody's stupid. If you were stupid, you were a monkey.
Like it's bringing me back to a conversation we had this weekend about gratitude, and how I was echoing the sentiment that I believe the best antidote to most of our problems right now is just more gratitude.
More gratitude.
And because I feel like it's almost like this duality that's happening is either people are grateful or people are angry.
I agree. We spoke about this at Twilight.
Exactly.
And it's
and
a very big one.
It came back to me as well. And then I had this conversation. I tried to echo this idea or understanding. And then someone said to me that gratitude, or at least your ability to feel gratitude, can very much be a vector of how much you've had a chance to feel it throughout your life. And I was like, okay.
Dude, that's true.
Right? So how much gratitude you've been allowed to feel by your parents, by your friends, by yourself, for yourself, is in a way going to contribute to how easy it is for you to activate that energy.
That's so true. Because something that I have learned that I do, and it's been a very big and interesting side experiment these couple years, has been trying to get my brain to do what happens to it on MD. You know the dopamine release?
Serotonin.
The serotonin release, where I'm trying to coach myself into being able to just produce it when I want to. And it's been the only reason I've been able to be a little successful is by already knowing what it feels like. Because how do I push more serotonin into me when I have no idea what more serotonin feels like? Because at least from my perspective, you can't think, or those chemicals are more of an emotional feeling than like a logical one. You can't like logic more serotonin into you.
You're like touching all of the right notes in my brain. I've been trying to do it as well. And so there's an experiment I do with our friends sometimes and with my parents as well. A cool way to understand how more or less serotonin feels on an active communication basis is if I go from being expressive to just talking to you like this.
And then suddenly you're like,
and then suddenly, like I'm still communicating same words to you, but now there's so much less information.
Yeah,
right? That's serotonin.
Yeah.
So, and then you can do the same thing with yourself in the mirror, where you can like smile at yourself, and like you can lift your arms up, and you can, and like there's a bunch of different notes. For example, like the arm up, like lifting your arms up thing. People that are blind, who have never seen anything in their lives, competing in like swimming competitions, when they find out they won, they raise their arms up.
Whoa.
Right? Isn't that cool? So, like, apparently it works in the reverse as well, where if you just raise your arms up first thing in the morning and you go, yeah, wow,
your body's
wow, your body is like, something is clearly great.
something
is fantastic.
Awesome.
Let's give this person more serotonin.
That's so interesting, dude. That's actually a really like good way of doing it and like actually practicing it.
As you said, like it's like some logic attached to it, but you have to do the physical part of it.
You have to feel it, and that's for yeah.
The human being.
The human being.
Beingness. The quartz I found are fused with iron, so probably some red vibes. That sounds nice. Amara always asks, how you all are doing when she gets home from school. You guys are much part of our lives. Thank you, Shan, for sharing that. Send her love too. We're always doing good. Right? That was the joint's intention.
Doing good. Nice.
Good. Exactly.
I'm
Brother,
gonna go do good and continue working.
thank you.
I
We'll take off the microphone. Probably.
really appreciate that I could spend some time. I'm sorry to the friends that I'm going to go,
No.
but I really need to get some
It was
things
nice
done.
to have a little bit of a chat with you, man.
I will be back when it is done. It should be not too long. Depends on how long you keep streaming.
Hardworking programmer.
Yeah, well, if I'm gonna work from home, I have to be a little bit responsible. What the
Yeah, we had this conversation this weekend as well, how we live in a world now where now the home has become the workplace as well, and you're like a battery to the system.
Yeah,
in your home.
The interesting thing is I still prefer going somewhere, but it's a nice alternative when like people are over and friends are over and I could just be
Yeah, like I mean, I work from home every day, so
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it. It's just the perspective, right? We shouldn't be pretending. We should realize that we are blessed to live in this world. So much stuff is being sent.
your case?
There it is. Thank you, man. Bearded Patriot. Brother Dan is joining us as well. Brother, my dad had a heart attack and has 3 new stents. He's doing great in the hospital. I'm happy that he's okay.
Happy to hear that.
Stents? Do you know what stents are?
If I remember correctly, stents are like things that they put in arteries or to open them
To
up.
keep them open.
I think
Oh.
so. He can confirm it, but that's what, if I remember correctly, that's what they are.
I mean, for me, again, like trying to always paint things in the most positive light. If something like that happened 100 years ago,
Dead.
just dead. Like there's just no option for you.
No.
And now, life saved, doing in the hospital, and hearing the word great. Thank you, Johan, for spending some time with us. You were great, though.
Oh, dude, thank
Beautiful
you.
conversationalist.
It's like family. It's like,
Right? It feels like just chatting with
literally
friends.
just chatting with
Knowing
friends.
that these friends will actually understand that we're not insane.
We're kind of insane.
I mean, yeah, like we're collectively insane at least. Like the insanity is evenly distributed. I think he's talking about quartz, the stone. Yeah, my best friend's name is tattooed on my left calf. He is always walking with me. These are cool things. I want the virtue tattoos for the same reason. Christian has the 7 deadly sins on his back, so now I want to get the 7 divine virtues or whatever. Joy Vive, literally everything. I have been deeply afraid of embracing the infinite because I've been so fixated on what I want from each experience instead of allowing each experience just to happen. Yeah, we get stuck. We get stuck with hoping for things to be differently. And then in hoping for things to be differently, we suffer. And then in suffering, we believe that we can solve the problem, and that problem solving is going to relieve the suffering we feel. And then we try to solve the problem, and then we sometimes fail. And then we again want for things to be differently, and then we suffer. And then until you learn to let go, right? To melt more, to surrender, to stop pretending there's something outside of you that needs to happen before you get to be happy. And I know that's a lot to say. I don't know everything. All of us have our own problems, our own challenges, our own difficulties. But love is true. If we didn't love ourselves enough to feed ourselves over the last few months, we wouldn't be here. Drink water, sleep enough, right? So you love yourself at least enough to be here. You were clearly loved enough to be taken care of to the point where you could take care of yourself. You're clearly loved enough by this world to be provided for. Food, oxygen, water. Stop pretending you're not. You're not. I know. Oh, I know it's like harsh. So harsh to be like, but I'm talking to myself as well. I'm really talking to myself. It's so easy to convince ourselves that we're somehow unloved. We blow things out of proportion. Love is true. Yes, Gary Lee. Spelled your name. Nancy's here as well with us. So much love to you, friends. Let me continue. Like the amount of love that I feel in chat is like so visceral, like so thick. Oh, mosquito season ramping up already. April seems early and unfair. Technically, mosquito season should be ramping down for us right now. We're entering the winter season. So they're trying to just like probably, eat up before they disappear again. Ooh, even typing this out, just have tears flowing. It's been such an emotional experience and so long overdue. Thank you, friends, for being a part of it. Thank you for including us in your journey, dear friend. We're here with you. Grateful your dad is recovering well. Thank you, Joy V, for sending that love. I saw a thing that said if you are experiencing attachment and or aversion, that's a sign that there's work to do. And it kind of stings. None of us want to be told that we're not right. Right. I want to be right. Right. It's nice to be right. Right. But what's right is love. If we can convince ourselves that we're acting in love, speaking from love, uplifting love more than anything other in our lives, maybe that's how we can get close to being right. If we end up being wrong, I'm sorry. I really will be. But I doubt it. I'll switch to YouTube if I can. I don't have YouTube followers. I didn't when I started either, dear friend. Little by little. It's not about the followers, it's about doing it. Because doing it isn't going to get any easier the more followers you get. In fact, doing it is going to get harder the more followers you get. So, doing it is the skill that needs to be grown. Showing up for it, first and foremost. I have 15% on my battery, and it's 15 minutes past right now, Shan. So, I'm having some synchronicities on this side as well. Sending you love. No schedule. I'm a rando. Yeah, me too. I tried just being rando with no schedule, but I couldn't do it. Like, it couldn't work for me, unfortunately. I just got ice cold rain water on my balls. Talk about a wake up call. Dun 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 dun. That is quite an experience. I don't think I've had that experience ever. I mean, I've been rained all over, cold rain all over. And that was kind of a part of the package deal, but not like specifically. I don't know, that comment just makes me feel like for some reason a small little cloud, like sniper shot it. Gotcha, dude. Or maybe you probably just had like a bowl of water that you were moving for your plants and you got some of it all spilled up. I have a beautiful hard copy of Small Gods and I have not read it yet. Can we do a book club in Discord or is there one? I don't think there is one just yet, Louisiana. Manifest. Reach out to some of our friends. Like, I know you friends have more than enough power to make all of these things happen. I feel bad. I did for a long time, felt an extreme amount of responsibility to be there for everything, right? But I realized this weekend especially that I don't have infinite time in every day. And that doesn't mean that I'm not giving the way I'm supposed to, but that I'm trying to, in every single moment, be the most loving version of me that I can be. And you friends have shown me that that is enough. Thank you for that. Thank you for ceaselessly reminding me. I stop looking at procrastination as being lazy or uninspired, and I try to think more about it as being a freeze of analysis paralysis that triggers self-shame. I hear you. Procrastination is very much something that I still do. Like, I don't know if that is gonna necessarily go away completely. The only thing that I try to do instead is have like a checklist. So I do procrastinate, but I still try and get my list checked. Again, I think of it like gathering evidence. I see myself as a scientist. I like to, at least. Only life is the experiment, and living well is the result I'm looking for. And every single day is an opportunity to try different things in this experiment. And through trying a bunch of different things, somehow we found ourselves here. That I've come to the conclusion that this is a responsibility I need to bear forever. Conversations like this need to be had. It is of utmost importance. And the fact that you friends are willing to spend your time with me in this moment just echoes even more of that sentiment. It makes me so happy. You make me so happy just by being here. For hearing these words right now. I love you so much, dear friend. I know not all of you are commenting, and yet just you. If you can get hit by you, oh, yes. I love you. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna start crying if I can continue diving down this fractal. Don't self-shame yourselves, please. Love yourselves. Love yourself so much. When you have a link, share. I'll do my best. Love me some crafting. Thank you for that, Doc Dad. I appreciate that. Oh, what up, Sean? Is Sean here? Is that Sean? No. That was Johan. Johan brings such a good, wholesome energy with him. If I could see auras, I bet his is super pretty. I feel like light pink for some reason. It's the color that instantly popped into my mind when you mentioned auras. Susanna, regarding procrastination, that rings true to me. I feel that. Jovan can't get any small. Joy Vive can't get any smaller. Johan, love to you. Hope you're well. Thank you again. You didn't get to see all of your friends as lovins, but I'll be sure to echo it back to him. I came back to the screen and I'm delighted that our friend joined now. It's nice, isn't it, Nat? He's gone again. Look at that handsome fella. So much love. They all have creamy thighs. I don't understand how people that are white from hot climates can be so white. We stay inside like that. Like it's so hot outside. We can't survive out there, dude. Like if the sun finds us alone, beats us into a pulp. So we hide, oh. We hide away underneath our little caves. Trying to stay away from the sunlight. The procrastination comment got me. And I just cleared out 3 boxes into the room of random things. I was rewarded with finding a dill seed. Evidence achieved. There we go, Natalie. Yeah. Fractals are being manifested. Cause they ain't naive, Doug. More invasive ones. Love is true. Louisiana is a Mel's book club tab in Discord. There we go. I'm a horrible reader though. I accept the challenge, but I can't promise I won't be very, very behind. Yeah, I don't think I'm a bad reader, but I feel again with the amount of time thing. There are so many things trying to catch our time. So many things. And I'm reading Christian's book right now. I feel like that's the book I need to read first. Well, I sell many types of plants, of chili, because you start with that first. I sell them ready. Also the tomatoes, of course. My customers garden, but they wouldn't want fruit on the plants. Okay, you want to focus on root growth. There we go. I have to go gather my son now. Love you, Natalie. Pull up my website. When you get a chance, you'll see beautiful pictures of everything. Let me do that. I want to call Johan. Maybe if he comes back before we end the stream. www.duckdadfarms.com. This thing just spazzed out so hard. I'm really looking forward to the day that voice typing is a little bit more stable. Do. .com. Here's Duck Dad's page. Look at those. Yo! Is it auto flipping? There we go. Ooh, look at how hot those are. So sexy. These photos look great, Duck Dad. This is making my brain happy, dude. I don't know how many more photos there are, but I want to see more of the website. Can send your messaging informations. Let's see what this tab does. Ooh, here's the tomatoes. Yeah. Oh goodness, Black Beauty. The darkest tomato we know. A dark, meaty, very rich flesh tomato with an extreme anthocyanin expression. Same antioxidants in blueberries and blackberries. So dark that some tomatoes turn solid blue-black on the skin. Deep red flesh is among the best tasting of all tomatoes, rich, smooth, and savory with earthy tones. Hang well on the vine and stores very well. The flavor improves with room temperature storage. Our own Dave Casier tasted it at the 2015 National Heirloom Exposition and proclaimed it as the best tomato he had ever eaten. That's so cool, dude. Now I want to eat Black Beauty tomatoes. If you also want to eat Black Beauty tomatoes, go and search www.duckdadfarms.com. Yeah, freaking yes, I love you. Okay, let's get back to the comments. Pull up the website. Not a challenge accepted. For later decluttering. There we go. Platinum Natimum. Doing the productive thing. So much love. Jobot, I am the slowest reader. Because every time I sit down to read, I fall asleep. That's so nice. At least you're relaxed, right? You're in that sympathetic nervous system. Put myself in there as well. Yeah, that's nice. Big, long, slow breaths. Duck Dad came from me raising ducks during the pandemic. Neighborhood girl started calling me Duck Dude. Adding more for sprinkles. Thank you. For more context, same. I like reading physical books that make me sleepy. Last night, I read like 3 chapters on my phone instead of going to the bed at a decent time. That artificial light keeping me wakey. Yeah, it does that. I am now loud. Just broke. I went to take a nap and ended up passing out for the evening last night. I'm happy that you slept well. I need to trip again. Feels like a good idea. If you do so with intention, mindfully, right? Don't just take drugs. Show up with an intention. What growth do you want to do, right? What work have you been postponing? Have you been closing your eyes to? And then being like, look at this work you're gonna have to do, and then do it. That way you get value. You get to keep something from your experiences. You get to grow. Otherwise, you just trip out, right? You're in loops, wondering about what's happening. Naps screw me up. I go to sleep, and it's like going through a time warp when I get up. I took a nap today, and I very much got time warped, Sam. I feel that. Sean, I'm so glad you said that about the convergence of science and spirituality. In the moment, I realized that I've been trying to treat my life like a solvable equation. I do the same thing, dude. The whole experiment thing, right? Being like a scientist. It can be exhausting sometimes. For what it's worth, I do think you're doing well. I know that feeling well, but I realize there are insight variables of which I am one. This allowed me to let go of my fear. I like that. Dreams are magic, infinite variables of which I am one. Yeah. We had the conversation as well, me and Johan. How about that? I am like who rolled 5 or 8, coincidence or inevitability. Exactly, Stefan. I have a tough time with naps too. It messes my sleep up. Also, any way I can avoid the wake up process. I want to have 1, not 2 wake ups. I also kind of grumpy when I first wake up, I admit. I agree. I also have that experience where if I start napping, it's like, okay, maybe just a little bit more. Just like a little bit. Okay, like that was nice, but if I do like 10 more minutes, it's not gonna be that bad. And then 10 more minutes ends up being like a whole extra hour, basically. More times than I'd like to admit as well, on top of that. Richard, the Myers-Briggs wants to see life that way so that you can be a good worker. But there are other ways to see ourselves that have nothing to do with work and results. You're a beautiful brother. So much love. Thank you, Shell. I'm like super desperately looking for my next trip at this point. So many things that I question, and I know the answer is within. It hurts not being able to understand. Whew, Jovan, it's interesting that so many of our friends, all of us basically, have kind of like came to these synchronicities in our own lives as well. What's holding you back, do you feel? I got magic powers, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. That's not fair, Joy Vive. That's not fair. I want to know what your magic powers are. I'm disabled. That's my magic power. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Gang, gang, Zano. Is that your magic power, Zano? That is my magic power. Kanye would agree with you 100%. Nap hater here. Go to sleep, human. Wake up, cactus. Nice. I've seen the art you guys are talking about of the guy driving the cat every year. I can't believe sometimes that connection can get worse than mine. And then I see that I am it, eternally grateful. Exactly. Like there are states of being that we cannot even fathom, right? Not only within human beings, but probably in existences beyond human as well. I just climb is being highly sensitive a superpower, surely. Surely, right? Like that is like one of the go-to superpowers. Super hearing, super feeling, super seeing, right? Superpower, absolutely. I just climbed out of the rabbit hole, says Joe Schmo. That is the study of numerology and sacred geometry in correlation to ancient megalithic structures that are scattered across the planet. Good morning. How about that for a fractal? So many things to experience, so many things to consider, so many unanswered questions for you to try and come up with. All right? You're going to, all of us probably, are going to have to figure out so many things. Got to go. Stefan, sending you lovin's. I'm going to get to your comments. I'll still send you good vibes, even though you won't be here for them. Thank you for spending some time with us. Sending you love. Big old huggins to you, man. Too many tragedies. Yes, it is, Shan. Absolutely. Just stop by to say hello. Love you, Joe. Johan, Screamy Thighs, summoned you. Sounds like a whirlwind of excitement. Unless Johan starts waving his arms around the stand, they use the boat salesman. He should be fine. Adam is a boat salesman right now. Like Stan. Are you talking about Adam? Adam used to be. I'm tripping out right now, Sam. Creamy thighs for the win. Maybe you'll be able to sense when the aliens are near, Shan. We just haven't found the best use for your powers yet. There we go. Joy Vive actually seeing into the future. Yo, where are you searching for your trip? There we go. Are you an HSP as well? I think it can be superpowers, but like any superpower, you have to figure out how to use it wisely and also how to protect yourself. Exactly. The responsibility, right? With great power comes great responsibility. I really felt it that weekend with the drum. It's still melting my brain a little bit, to be honest. Maybe joy. I love that. I think I'm heading in the right direction for using my powers, though. It feels like a curse. It feels less like a curse and more like a blessing. There we go. The way and the intricacies and the awareness you've displayed with me when I did like a consultation with you, Shan, has already shown me that you are using your powers for good. Gosh, everywhere. I would love to meet with the golden teacher. And there we go. But maybe I just need to do more breath work. Or maybe it's not the right time for the answer. So many maybes. I need to not obsess. You need to not obsess and also manifest, right? Like whatever you feel is right. You need to allow yourself, right? Like we can pretend. That's the whole stream topic for today, right? Like we can pretend forever of all of the things that we feel we need to do. But you're not going to do the thing through pretending, right? Like you can't pretend to wash the dishes. Oh, look at me washing dishes right now. Oh. Sure, you can pretend, but the dishes won't get washed. And just getting up and getting the dishes in the washing bin and then washing the dishes gets the dishes washed. You know what I'm saying. But you have to be intentional about your dishwashing. If you're gonna be washing dishes just because it needs to be getting done, then it's not gonna be fun, right? You can wash dishes because you believe that it's something loving to do for yourself or for your loved ones. Double speak. Reading between the lines somewhere in that frequency, there was more information to be found. I need to not obsess. You got this, right? Being obsessive means that you're actually taking the due diligence to think about it. Are you with us? I need to not obsess. I'm like, me too, exactly. But again, you're thinking about things excessively, surely, but also that could be better than not thinking about things at all. We're trying to find balance. We just might be on one side of the extreme right now. Hmm. I think looking at cornfield sounds peaceful. Does sound kind of nice, doesn't it? I like to break from half and eat the innards. What? Cadbury eggs for me. Oh, phew. I am. Oh man, back in the day, I would get all the Cadbury eggs, get my hands on while they were out. I stuck them in the freezer. So many old trips. You could have lost weight and gained muscle. I am about to weigh myself joy for the first time. I feel I lost weight from the hard work, but I'm sure I didn't. Maybe you got both, dude. As Joy Beef said, gained muscle, which is heavier than fat, and lost some fat at the same time. I do weird things with how I eat. I ask my bestie. She'll go on for days about it. Be mindful, right? Make it something special. PS to Mel, I think you said anecdote instead of antidote. They are very easily mixed up. Anecdote? Anecdote is like when someone has an experience from their life that they tell you about. An antidote is when it's something to counter something negative, right? Maybe I would have said it incorrectly, and they are so close. It is Joe. Now swap frozen candy from frozen fruit. That sounds super nice, actually. I was 195 4 weeks ago, 177 now. Gangster. That is actually nice. No doubt. Only proof, dude. Do you freeze grapes? I haven't tried freezing grapes. I do freeze blueberries. Those are nice. Shan, holy cow. I am. We have more. We actually have three at this point, Loizana. Maxine is also INFP, apparently. So even more synchronicity there. Great idea. Check in, yo. Sam as well. Oh, goodness. Four. Sam, Shan, Loizan, and Maxine. Damn. Coincidentally, I don't ask who here is microdosing. I'm not microdosing right now. I've been microdosing mostly. I haven't had grapes in a long time. While I definitely want to try them frozen, I hear they're bomb that way. They're also probably high in sugar. Johan actually bought a little thing of grapes. Love you. Connor, I don't know if you're leaving, but I see a love. Sending you love too, dear friend. Ah, no, 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 no. Caramel ice cream. That sounds nice. Frozen apples and dates. I have yet to try it, but it sounds so good. Bro, I'm sold on shrooms. My mind was like expanded 4 times. Oh yeah, so I got to give Stefan one of his first mushroom experiences this weekend as well. I'm so happy, dude. Like he has a little bit more left, so there's another experience waiting for him at some point. But yeah, the the amount of space you have to consider ideas expanded mind like 4 times. I feel that, dude. Again, love to you. Thank you, Gary, for being here with us. Nancy, Shan, we have five. Nancy, Maxine, Sam, Lausanna, and Shannon. Yes. I think we had a person when we were talking about it the previous time on the Yuna side who was also one of those. I was distracted and missed 11:11. It's fine. You're here. I've been talking to the mushrooms. It stopped my antidepressants last month. Let's see if I lose my mind. I've been kind of cranky since I stopped them. You are healing. You are healing, Joy Vive. I believe in you. If you lose your mind, we'll help you find it. We'll be like, where did Joy Vive's mind go? But we'll find it here somewhere, right? Keep showing up. Keep letting us know how you feel. speak up if you feel things, right? Like it's okay to be sad and to talk about your sadness. It's not okay to try and make other people sad. I think that's the real only rule we have. Joy Viva, I just tell myself I shouldn't have let myself get there. I know, I'm not healthy, but it's true. I'm getting too old and I use my body for a living. I have to treat myself physically better. You will, dude. Like this work you've been doing is kind of like a step in the right direction already. You losing weight is already less pressure on your knees. So just lean into that. Know that you're doing something well. My grandma knew because she used to say that they broke the mold when they made you and your grandfather. We are actively doing that, aren't we? Use the body for a living. You gigoloing on the side. I love that. Shan, I need that date and apple recipe. I have to go back on my autoimmune protocol as inflammation is currently kicking my ass. I have Hashimoto's disease. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lozana. I'm happy to hear that you're paying attention to your food and that you're actually willing to do that work and being mindful. You got the sync. I'm 27. I'm on 12 as well right now. 12, and it's the 12 of the date as well. Nice. We need to post our recipes on the Discord. I can make some banana. Please, Jovan, you have like access to moderator tools, I believe. I hope you still do. If you create a new channel for the recipes, that would be super cool. Guilt-free sweet treats for the win. Sure thing, Lois. I'm pretty simple, really. I was encouraged to get Anthony Williams' Cleanse to Heal book, and I like the book mostly for all the recipes in it. Simple and so healthy. I feel that's what we need to get better at, right? Make being healthy simpler for ourselves. Because that's the only thing keeping us from doing it, really. I hear you've gotten a killer curry recipe. Shannon, so much love. Well, more rum in the recipe. Make it a slushy. I probably could. Slut carfractals. Slut carfractals. I don't know what that means, but it makes me happy reading it, Stefan. You got the back trips. Enough rum in my house gets super clean, like I'm leaving for vacation. Yeah, I feel that's a good way to start a trip as well, right? Like that's the extra setting of intention before you actually go in there. Like set and setting. Set is how you feel inside. Setting is where you're going to be. And then what people think is those are the only two things that are important to have like down, where you're going to be and how you feel, but they should also kind of echo that stability is extremely important as well. Right? After you've cleared your space, after you've acknowledged that you feel a certain way, confirm that in both ways there is going to be stability for this experience. And then going into it, more often than not, it's guaranteed to be a good time. Like Stefan's experience, I was like playing the drum for him while he was coming into his experience. And then I left the drum with him when I went to sleep and he was in his experience and he could like hold on to the drum. He mentioned to me that there was a time for him during his experience where the drum was scared and he needed to hold on to the drum to make the drum feel less scared. And seeing that fractal and just taking it as, right, this ability to externalize a feeling and then being able to comfort yourself as an external thing, and that experience allowing you some sense of healing, some sense of stability, safety, a setting, right, sets you up to feel a certain way. It was inspiring to see him grow that way. Like we're doing so much work in so many different ways that we can't even fathom. Love is true. Your friends, like just reading all of your comments, it makes me so happy. The amount of work your friends are doing, the amount of love you're sharing with me. I can feel it. It's like my mind is full of this experience right now. Cool hearing another voice read this. It's only been in my head. Love you all. We love you, Duck Dad. We love you. Beautiful website. And your Instagram is beautiful. I just followed you. Thank you, Loizana, for echoing that. Even more love. I never built a website before. I really didn't want to, but paying someone wasn't an option. Exactly. I'm happy that you did it yourself, dude. A new skill gained, right? And you can just get better at it as well as you keep going. Gonna go to work, Nancy. Need to start figuring out how to get paid the same and have a 3-day weekend. Be well, everyone. I see that for you too. Nancy only works 4 days a week, getting paid the same amount of money. This is possible. This is true. So be it. I love you. Have a good time, Nancy. We'll see you again soon, dear friend. Where do I leave off? I've been randomly thinking about how proud I am of you, Duck Dad. Sending intermittent big loves. Me too, Joy Beam. Like, I feel I've been talking about Duck Dad a lot as well. The amount of giddy it gives me to imagine someone growing plants, like actual entities, spawning entities into this world and giving those entities to people so that they can bring food into their lives, feed their families, those, let me read the name again, Black Beauty tomatoes, right? Isn't that the sickest thing ever? Like, and I love blueberries for those antioxidant profiles. And if I can eat a tomato, that's so much more volume of antioxidant that I can get into my body compared to what the blueberries would give me. My mind wants to eat those freaking tomatoes, dude. What have you done to me, Duck Dad? Thank you. Thank you for stimulating my brain. Healthy foods. You'll give me the strength to do this seriously. If you think I'm good, know that you can do it with your own flavor. I'll support each of you any ways I can. When one grows, we all grow. The rising tide lifts all boats. We're doing it, dear friends. We're evolving. We're growing. We're gonna make this world a better place. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of how long it will take us to make the influence, to make the waves that we know we can. It's just a matter of time. Y'all, give me the strength. Love you again. Seriously, don't even know. I saw the fellow. I love your pictures and overall vibe. I wish you lived closer. I have people you would fit right into, and that's so nice. Like, you inspire me for real. I appreciate you and grateful for your friend. So much love. It's like you know how to feel how the things that you don't know yet. Food for thought. Do you know how to feel the things that you don't know yet? Closing my eyes, I saw what looked like a spaceship, deconstructed. But the spaceship was made out of a bunch of floors or layers. And this deconstructed spaceship had like these layers that you can clearly see. And I don't know how it makes me feel, but I don't know if I know it either. What a great stream. Much love, Melton friends. You are doing the thing, creating and expanding, and the expansion of love, compassion, and understanding. Duck Dad, thank you for doing this work with me, dear friend. That's what's most important. Are we dancing this Wednesday? We are. I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to do a little bit of a dance. I've been thinking about it this whole time, Shan. I'm happy that you remembered. Hedgehog playing the guitar on your Instagram is amazing. Read an article last night about how light doesn't experience time. Yes, light is timeless. Exactly. How cool is that, right? You're the light of my lives. Aw, you're freaking nice. The old R Pandaren days, right? Tomorrow is my closing ceremony. I'm nervous about my speech. I'm going to practice it out loud. I have no idea why even that makes me nervous, being disabled. I always feel like someone's watching or listening. Everyone is watching and listening. Sam, not Sam, Shaz, Zano. And not only is everyone listening, but you get to be you, right? And even if you make a mistake, laugh about it. People will love you more. That's the beauty of where we are as society right now. At least I would like to believe that. People will find you endearing. People will find you even more charming if you make mistakes every now and then instead of being infallible and perfect. So take that to your heart, Zano. Even if you make mistakes, it will only make your thing better. Start stripping out. Oh, I should work a mistake in there somewhere. Oh, Susanna, you're doing wonderful. Love is true. I've had a hunch that you'll surprise yourself in hindsight. You got this. So much love. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have to change my name. You keep attributing Joe's comment to me, and she deserves her flowers. It is a weird brain melt for me too, Joy Vive, Jovan. I love you both so much. Sorry if I get comments mixed up. I am. Maybe in the future, there'll be even more clarity. It'll be impossible for me to get them mixed up. Like from the information entering my brain and the information stimulating something happening up here, and then information flowing through that space. I honor all of you friends for allowing me that experience. The trip that brought me to this realization was a mushroom trip. Exactly, dude. Of course. And it was recent. It was probably at the exact same time that I was guiding that friend of mine through his mushroom trip as well. How about that? I thought you did it already, Zano. I know what you mean, though. You got this, friend. Pretend that you're speaking to us. Yes, the pretending being a good thing. You got the hunch. Love is true. Change my name. Dark Dad. Are you still here? You mentioned the National Heirloom Exhibition. I was planning to go do that in 2020, and then COVID happened. Have you been to it? I don't know if he's here. I'm looking as well. From my alter ego. Maybe. My good friend went for many years, Lois. Wasn't it in Gilroy? I wouldn't know either. Screen change my name yet, but it didn't. It's probably the Joe. Like your both of your names starts with J O, and my brain's like, oh yeah, yeah. Too many Joe names in the feed. Yeah, we have Joe Schmo, we have Joel, we have Jovan, we have Joy Vive. We probably have more that I'm probably just spacing out on. I'm gonna go and give some water back to the universe, and then we're gonna get away, and then we're going to dance. We're gonna dance, have a good time. There we go. The Garlic Festival have been cancelled forever due to the massacre a few years back. What the hell? Were there vampires? Is that insensitive to joke about? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Lois, they're cheap. You should go if you can. I mean, explore the world, dear friends. I feel like living in America is in and of itself a massive blessing. Living in a country that has affordable flights. I don't know if they're cheap, but affordable flights is a great honor, a great opportunity. How's this gonna be? Yow! Skip yow! Skip yow! Yes, I am not normal. I know. I know. I was no. Garlic Fest up there. Mass shooting, so they closed it perpetually, sadly. That is pretty sucky. Why would you go and shoot people at a garlic festival? What's your problem, dude? Yeah, like what the hell, huh? It's like, yeah, these people, they like garlic. I don't like garlic. Get wrecked, people. That's so rude. There we go. And then I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. And I looked back at him. And he looked back at me. Were they the further vampires? Oh, goodness. This is why we can't have nice things. One thing about living in Santa Carla, I could never stomach all the damn freaking vampires. I hate it when that happens. Vampires everywhere. This town used to be nice until all of the vampires came into it. Fucking eating our kids. What a rude bunch. Is this too much? I feel like it might be a little bit. This is one of the tracks that played this weekend. This whole dance is a thank you to you for being here, for supporting love. Thank you. I love you. I'm gonna move my body, move out of love for you, dancing to the divine feminine that is your being. So that the awareness that is, you can see it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's cool AF. No, I didn't. Yeah, dance time. Are you ready? Here comes the drop. I feel like I'm still very much in the Cytrons scene, right? Like I'm still dancing on the dance floor, even though I'm dancing with a few friends right now. You like the track? I'm happy you like it. Let's hope this one is also pretty great. What is that horrid creature that you showed us? It is the larval state of a beetle, big beetle. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, man. I'm dancing with you, Melty. Yes, dance with me. That's so super high for the 7 Lions next month. The amount of frequencies. This little freaky. So weird. Going to the office. Love you, Shell. Thank you for joining us. You're going, Shan? Nice, she is. She's gonna make the effort. Are you ready to dance again? Actually, it's like still a minute away. Maybe a little bit less. I freaking love you so much. Dancing like this, like a crazy person. There's probably people hearing me. I hope they look over the wall and see me dancing. They're like, what's happening? Love. I enjoy. So stoked. Love this trip. Oh goodness. One more. One more musics. This will be it. I should probably breathe a little bit more. Skip-yow! Thank you, friends, for dancing with me. Ah, damn. Thank you, friends, for spending some time with me. Get out of the vista. I know this track. Why do I know this track? I don't listen to this kind of music. Perhaps it's a movie or a show. Perhaps the psychicness has already kicked in. The police are coming for me now. What have you done? What have you done? Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but that was weird in and of itself. John! Gosh, could have been next to you to feel the energy, the rate, the excitement. I mean, you friends felt my energy with this festival that I went to. So I feel it's going to be the same with Shan as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Of course. Love you. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me, for not pretending to care. I care about you too. I'm hot. I'll see you soon. Nice music choices today, Melty. The festival inspired you. Thank you, Joy V. I'm happy that you were vibing as well. Sending you good vibes, dear friends. I'll see you again soon. 24 hours from now, tomorrow. Love you all. Wish you friends could come with me. We'll be there with you, Shan, in heart. Dan, love you, Brother Bear. Thank you, everyone. See you again.